Hola y bienvenidos a... Bonjour et bienvenue... Hello and welcome to Bruno's Geek Reviews. So, in this video I'm gonna discuss the new Doctor Who episode that came out last Saturday, Asylum of the Daleks. Overall, I'm gonna warn you right away, there's gonna be spoilers, so if you haven't seen it yet, stop watching. And never come back. No, I'm kidding, you can come back after you've seen it. Well, basically, I felt like it was a very strong episode. It really made the Daleks creepy again and scary. Kind of the same way where I personally first saw them in the 2005 episode Dalek with Christopher Eccleston. So, you know, since then, current showrunner Stephen Moffat had a point where you've seen them so often that they're not that scary anymore. You don't really worry. So they fixed that. You know, definitely Daleks are creepy again. So the beginning, like, very strong start. Like, the mood is perfect. In this, like, the Doctor appears very mysteriously to answer the summons of a woman who needs help. In this huge Dalek statue building, and it turns out that it's in Scarrow, the original planet of the Daleks. You know, when I was watching the episode, like, my first impression was like, wait a moment. The 7th Doctor destroyed Scarrow, didn't he? But then I remember, no, in the TV movie with the 8th Doctor, they brought it back somehow. So yeah, that's convoluted Doctor Who continuity for you. And then also keep in mind the 11th Doctor rebooted the universe, so he might have changed a lot of stuff along the way. I think that's what Stephen Moffat intended to maybe not have to worry too much about what has been established before in the convoluted continuity of Doctor Who, and just like tell good stories. Well, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked big time. So yeah, right away, one thing that bothers me a little bit is because they bring up the fact that, they say the Doctor is dead and you know, all that stuff, and that because of that he's the legend of the past. Whereas that kind of bothers me a little bit, that the very idea of because someone killed him, that he's out of the picture. That makes no sense because the Doctor is a time traveler. So basically, even if he's dead, even if he was, the guy's like 1,000 years old. Which means that even if, like, how can I put this? You could still face many younger versions of him because he travels in time. So even if he died at some point, younger, you might still, if you're an enemy of the Doctor, you might still have to face younger hims. Killing him actually just limits the possibility of crossing paths with him, in the sense that there's less of him in the time stream if he lives up to 1,000 instead of like 2,000 or more. So killing the Doctor makes sense in this, just with the idea, well, you know, we're going to minimize the amount of times we have to cross paths with him. But just killing him with the idea, we'll never have to see him again, that makes no sense. Because, you know, he's long-lived, he can travel in time, and, you know, like, characters don't necessarily cross, like, they don't meet in the right order, like we see with the Doctor and River Song, so that goes the same for his enemies. So yeah, that's a little nitpick, I guess, but, you know, it doesn't affect my enjoyment of the stories, but I do find, like, it doesn't, like, there's no point for the Doctor to do that, to pretend he's dead, because just for that very argument, the whole concept of people, like, you know, people no longer fearing him, it doesn't make sense to me, but anyway. But I still respect what he's trying to do, to make him less of a, like, you know, ever since New Who, like, the Doctor shows up somewhere, it's like, hey, I'm the Doctor, and, like, everyone, oh my god, it's the Doctor! And I guess now he wants to make him more mysterious, more subtle. Let's see how that works. Let's see. However, I have to say, like, with the conclusion of that episode, that works well towards the goal of making him more mysterious and less of a celebrity in a way in his universe. You know, because the Daleks have forgotten about him now, and that works. You know, like if the intention, like how can I put this, like faking his death, I don't really see it, but stuff like the Daleks no longer remembering the Doctor of all people, that really works with what he wanted to do. But well, what I think Moffat wanted to do. So yeah, back to the whole idea of the Daleks being more creepy now, because you know the girl that the Doctor was trying to save turns out to be a Dalek, and that bit I saw coming a little bit. Well, the possibility, like I saw the possibility of it coming, but because it was, you know, because the role was played by the actress who's gonna be the new companion, I didn't expect. I thought that was her. The new character, which it might be, we'll see, or maybe it's the sister of that new character, I don't know, we'll see. But the whole point is, only because of that, I wasn't sure that she would be a Dalek. And even if she was, I thought maybe she was going to be one of those human-looking Daleks, and the Doctor could somehow fix the nano in her, something like that. You know, the nanotech that changed them, like the other people who crashed the planet. But it turns out in her case it wasn't nanotechnology at all. Like they really, the Daleks got her and really hands-on transformed her, and that was very creepy. That was really effective. In fact, I've rewatched the episode since then, and I'm amazed that, like, because her scenes are so upbeat and happy in a way, despite her predicament, she's an upbeat character, and the actress really charismatic, does a really good job. Very quickly you like her character. She makes you care. So, and the thing is, like, watching it after that, when you watch the episode again with the knowledge of the reality of her situation, it's kind of horrific and creepy. It's really disturbing. That and like of those Daleks in the Asylum, you know, stuff like Amy seeing human beings when they're Daleks, and then like the one that's spinning like a ballerina, and stuff like that, like really made them very, very creepy, very scary. I really liked it. I feel like the episode was very successful in that. Also that scene where the Doctor just like manipulates the Dalek into self-destroying and then like kicks him back to the other Daleks, and that was really cool. Because it was kind of a physical thing to do, the way he kicks him back and like kind of action hero style, but at the same time it's kind of like manipulation using his brains and his magic wand, you know, the sonic screwdriver, which was a very Doctor thing to do. So I always like when he thinks his way out of situations, and you go like, oh, I see what he did there. However, that's one thing though. That's a little nitpick, but when the Doctor every time was like asking where, you know, the girl they're trying to save, and I forgot her name right now, Osric, oh my god. Anyway, the one played by Jenna Louise Coleman, and basically the Doctor is like, where did she get the milk for the souffles? And everyone's kind of like, does it matter right now, you know? I don't know, if I was the Doctor's companion, I would have realized by now that every time he does something really random and weird, it's really not random. It's really smart, and there's a reason behind it. The same, you know, the same way like in The Beast Below, where he puts a glass of water on the floor and looks at it. Turns out there was a reason for that. So every time the Doctor kind of like does or says something random, by now, if I was, you know, if you hang out with a guy for a while, you should realize by now, like, his companion should realize, like, wait, okay, if this genius alien thinks this is important, like, maybe we should think it's important, maybe there's a reason behind it, you know? That's a nitpick, though. Less of a nitpick, though, I would say the real... Let's put it this way, like, if I had to find one flaw in the episode, I found the whole, like, Rory and Amy breaking up didn't work. It could have. First of all, bringing up the fact that they're gonna break up, just to bring them together right away in the very same episode, I found there was no point to it then. If at least they had stretched it out a little bit over a few episodes, had it be a plot line, had it be a story, a mature story maybe, about, you know, sometimes people fall, like, go apart. Couples don't always last forever. So that could have been interesting, but instead, that's not what we got. So I'm kind of wondering what was the point in the first place, and also the reason they found for it. You know, Amy can't have kids anymore. So yeah, I can see how that is sad. But for them to break up over it, especially the way they portrayed their love as this epic, you know, he waits 2,000 years for her, she'll wait, you know, it's kind of like the way they made it so strong and powerful, and then like that's what breaks them up. But I don't really buy it because, you know, they could have adopted a kid. Rory could have gone to a hospital. He's a nurse. Well, I mean, anyone can do it, but I mean, he certainly would be aware of the options they have. You know, he could maybe, you know, in vitro, well, in the sense that maybe it wouldn't be Amy's genetical kid, but it could at least be Rory's, or they could simply adopt another kid altogether. And, you know, I don't see what would stop them from having a kid anyway, even if she can't have them, like, you know. So, yeah, that I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that this thing would be what would break them up. Because, you know, I guess some people are like, oh, I would only have my own kids, otherwise no kids at all. But, you know, if not being with Rory is seriously the hardest thing possible, like what? No, I don't know. I didn't buy it. But, you know, other than that, really like the episode. I really like Rory. It's when he reaches for one of those Dalek, like balls of Dalek lumps or whatever, like, and thinking it's one of the eggs for the Dalek, and then that was, you know, you feel like he's such a good guy and the kind of person you want to hang out with. But I do think like it wouldn't hurt if we saw more of the last Centurion in him, like when things get serious, like maybe more of an action hero vibe. Kind of like that side of him wakes up, if you will. That would be interesting. But anyway, I'm just ranting at this point. Yeah, basically very good, very creepy, very strong start for the new series. And let's see where it goes and what happens with the pawns from here. So thanks for watching.